Welcome to One Tired Teacher, episode 51, How Teachers Survive Halloween. Happy Halloween, my friends. It is Halloween today, and you are either driving to work with very nervous or you have left work and you are feeling like, oh my goodness, I don't know how I survived. And so that is the crazy thing that happens. So I wanted to share some tips and some suggestions and some secrets that people have shared about surviving Halloween. And it's probably too late for you to benefit from some of these tips and strategies, but I just thought it was funny and I thought it would be fun to just share a few responses from teachers all over the globe. I am in this Facebook group, and this particular one is focused on some second grade teachers, and they happily shared ways that they would survive Halloween. So I'm curious to see if they really did some of these things, but it's just funny. So I'm going to share that, and I hope you stick around.
Welcome to One Tired Teacher. And even though she may need a nap, this teacher is ready to wake up and speak her truth about the trials and treasures of teaching. Here she is, wide awake. Wait, she's not asleep right now, is she? She is awake, right? Okay. From Trina Devery Teaching and Learning, your host, Trina Devery.
Hey, so it is Halloween, and it's all things crazy on Halloween. Whether you celebrate it or not, there still is a lot of craziness in the air, and that can be, kind of draining a little bit. It can be a smidge draining. Hopefully you grabbed some great sensational books to read during Halloween or October from the episode that was last week. I'll link to that in case you are wanting to continue the fun into November, or maybe you are listening to this years later and you're like, what do I do for actual Halloween? Well, that is in episode 50 of One Tired Teacher. So I will link to that just in case. So let's talk about some responses I got from teachers, from some second grade teachers, in a question I asked in a Facebook group. I asked how teachers survive Halloween, because I know that it was always so exhausting. I find we weren't a school that celebrated like big time Halloween. In fact, our principal was a little bit anti-Halloween, and which I thought, I didn't want to take the fun out of it for kids. So I ended up going around that a little bit by having them dress up as a character, a storybook character. And I did that years and years ago. Now it's like all over the place. So a lot of people do it, and it can be so fun. There's so many different characters to dress up as. One of my favorite characters to dress up as for kids, in front of kids, is as Wonder Woman. And I think, which is the picture of this episode, I think it's fun. I think it's fun to pretend to be a superhero for a day, and the kids are always so excited to see that. And definitely Wonder Woman's in a book. She's in comic books, so I feel all right about that. And I think it's perfectly appropriate. And so I think that it's fun to do that. But that's just one way. And I know people have done various different things, and maybe even dressing up, as different genres. I think that could be really cool. What would a science fiction costume look like? Or what would a, folktale costume look like? Or fairy tale? That would probably be a lot easier. Or, realistic fiction, you could dress up as yourself. So yourself with big muscles, or really cool hair or something. I don't know. Anyway, I think it's fun to allow the spirit of just my favorite part of Halloween was dressing up, because I thought that part was so fun. So that part I didn't want to take away. And as far as the candy goes, obviously you can limit it, but it can be crazy. And really, it's not even Halloween that's so bad. It's the next day. Oh, November 1st. So get ready, people. There's a massive sugar crash. And people that are doing jobs like student support specialists, where you're dealing with behavior, I'm having a feeling that day is going to be rough. I think it's going to be kind of rough. I'm a little bit nervous. I might do what one teacher suggested as far as suggestions for how to survive Halloween. I might do what she says on November 1st. All right, so here's some answers that teachers said. How would you survive Halloween, or how do teachers survive Halloween? So Ashley says, put in for a sub on November 1st. And I'm like, amen. Hallelujah. I think she is right on. And I think that is so brilliant, Ashley. I love it. Like, that was the first response, and it just made me laugh so hard. And then somebody else, like Paula, chimed in, and she's like, yes, take the day off and go visit your grandchildren. And I'm like, yes, make it fun. Go visit your, like, if you have grandchildren, visiting them would be great because you get to be there for all the excitement, and then you get to leave for the sugar crash. My kids are teenagers, so they are, and one of them is like nearing 20, like she's 19. So she's still about like dressing up and going to Halloween parties, but she's not necessarily about, going trick or treating. But she, it's still, my house is still decorated for Halloween just because I guess I kind of don't, and it's not like the scary kind of Halloween. I like the cute little Halloween stuff, but I am ready to take it down and just focus on fall and Thanksgiving, because like I tend to like really deck things out for holidays, and the kids, like, that's a tradition. So I like hold on to that because the kids are still around. And so I don't want, I want them to remember those things. And my son, he is 15 and he probably could care less, but he still likes candy. So okay, so then Amanda says, at our school this year, the day after Halloween is a PD day. I thought that was brilliant. I'm like, first of all, I don't know how much learning you're going to get done on the PD day, but like a break from the kids that are having like a massive sugar rush and like a crash. Absolutely. Like, I think that was a brilliant idea. And actually someone else said that too. So I think that maybe there's some schools, there are some school districts out there that have gotten a little smarter. I'm shocked. And then I had Diana who said, enjoy and go with the flow. And I think she's right. Like, I think we have to like go with the flow and let kids be kids. I think it's important. Even the older kids, like, they enjoy it and they want to have fun still too. And especially those middle school kids, like, they want to hold on to that kind of stuff and not let go yet. And I even feel like sometimes high school kids do. So I think we just have to remember that every once in a while. But then Ashley does come back and say, she says, on a serious note, I restrict candy to 1 piece per day at school, and I also try to have something educational and fun planned on the 31st to help make the day go by faster. Spookily, The Square Pumpkin is a great short film with an amazing anti-bullying message. I thought that sounded perfect. So if you are on your way to school, that might be a great way for you to have a little bit of time for the kids to watch something that's fun, and it also has a good central message of anti-bullying. I haven't seen it myself, but it's recommended by another second grade teacher, so it may be just the thing you need. And as I shared last week in episode 50, I have at least 4 makerspace moments in literature on Halloween books, and that makes it really fun as well. You could do like the makerspace on Halloween. I think that would be really, and if you did the something pumpkin one, you're actually using those little pumpkin Halloween candy, and that might be perfect because then they can eat them when they're done. Well, I don't know, as long as they're building their own things and touching their own pumpkins, unless you don't care about them touching one another's. But anyway. Jessica says, I embrace the crazy. Room on the broom, read aloud with a quick rate in the movie. Then in math, we do math or treat. Oh, how fun. They complete 5 math tasks and receive a treat each time they do. They rotate in 5 different groups around the room, and I let them work with a partner. It's fun, and I don't feel like I'm trying to get them quiet and calm all day. I think that's great. I think that's another brilliant suggestion, Jessica. Like, how fun is that? I totally love that. So that's amazing. And then, yeah, I think that's really fun. So, and then another person, Angie, says on November 1st, we watch Coco. And although this year they're having an in-service, which is awesome. Again, like, how smart of them. So, they watch Coco because of the November 1st thing, the All Saints Day. I'm like, why did they watch Coco? I didn't get that at first, but now I totally do. And I should know what November 1st is, as that was my for 17 years, my wedding anniversary. And it isn't anymore, but it was. And that was, yeah, what a crazy day for us to pick, because like to have a rehearsal dinner on Halloween. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so Trisha says, don't make big plans for the day after. So I thought that was a pretty good tip as well, because it can be really tiring. Hopefully you are surviving or have survived the day and you are on your way home to, well, I guess if it's still the day, then you're on your way home to trick or treat maybe with your kids, or pass out candy for trick or treaters. This is a lazy thing that I do now that my kids are older and don't trick or treat. I grab a giant thing of candy and I put it on the doorstep and I tell them to pick one. Of course, somebody takes the bowl and dumps it in their bag every single time. But like, I have stopped sitting outside and watching all the kids. I probably need to do that again, because my neighborhood is like loaded full of little kids and their cute little costumes. I don't know when I became so like the old grouchy lady at the on the corner. Maybe I need to work on that. I think it's because I've always been so tired after long days of Halloween fun at school. Anyway, all right. I hope you had a great day and that your Halloween was bearable, and that maybe you enjoyed it just a bit. If you dress up as like a superhero, it's hard not to have a smile on your face. So next week we are moving away from Halloween, and we're going to be talking about having a grateful heart, which is another proactive strategy for behavior. So hopefully you'll join me next week. All right, this one tired teacher is ready for a long, long sleep. Until next time, sweet dreams and sleep tight.